Welcome to the Careers Show, a unique insight into the attitudes of young people about careers, as well as a forum for solutions on how our nation's youth can better prepare for their professional journey. Roll it. This show came about as a result of UK youth unemployment reaching record levels, as well as the theory that proper career planning in this country is not what it should be. We therefore wanted to find out why the disconnect between employers and job seekers is so great, and embarked on a nationwide search for answers. What follows, however, is just a snapshot of the confusion young people feel about career planning, despite the systems in place to assist them.
I did nothing, I was lazy. I worked the odd blue collar job every now and again. I cleaned planes at night time at Stansted. I worked in a hinge factory, and then now I've just fallen into banking, which has been quite a touch really.
It's just really frustrating. You talk to all these people, they're really enthusiastic, and then you realise actually they don't have any jobs and they're there just to promote themselves, and they're not accepting your CV, they're not accepting anything.
I think people are doing all sorts of things, but I'm kind of waiting to graduate and see what's out there.
I want to use my degree somehow, so something in biology, so I don't know.
Do you think
wherever the wind takes me?
You look at it and they want business, economics, a numeric degree, science, and yeah, they want you to go into your degree knowing what you want afterwards, because they're looking for you to have so much academic qualifications just to get an internship, which will then get you work experience, which will then get you the job.
And then everyone starts thinking, oh God, I'm going to have to look for a job. I'm going to have to actually grow up in a way. It's quite worrying.
When you hear that a lot of places have stopped hiring for a while, it's a bit worrying, because you think, well, no, there's nothing out there available anymore. Or there is, but there's so many other people out there with years of experience that we don't have as students.
I slacked, I guess, and now I'm spending this summer trying to get as much work experience as I can, because I realise how important it is to build those connections and things.
I didn't do my degree to get a job. I did my degree because I enjoyed it, and I wouldn't mind if I didn't ever do a history-related job, because I would have, if I didn't want to do a history degree, I would have just gone out there and got a job in the first place rather than come to university.
I did a publishing degree, and I'm hoping at the end of it I will get a job. If not, the work experience will be really valuable.
I want to be a community nutritionist, but it's really hard to get into without any experience. I'm applying pretty much every day, but there't nothing at the moment. They all want experience, but you can't get it without being offered, yeah. So long, I reckon it's going to be a long time.
The majority of graduates have reported a significant lack of knowledge, preparation and understanding that is necessary to develop a sustainable career path. Let's see what innovative solutions career counselling services have come up with to counter these problems.
Even if they haven't got a clear idea of exactly what they want, they know that they want to contribute to society. They want to have an impact really on society, and they are very, very focused on the next stage. So some of them will come without any idea of what they want to do, but they make very, very heavy use of us and all the events that go on in the school really to prepare them and to help them decide what they want to do.
For years, we've been trying to tell students to use us earlier anyway, so that it isn't all panic at the last minute. But I suppose the main things we've done, we've put on specialist workshops for them, so we do stuff like job hunting in a recession, which I guess should now technically change to job hunting coming out of a recession. So we do kind of specialist workshops.
Our students are pretty savvy, and they know that in this labour market just having a good degree is not enough. We take this very seriously, and the school has just had a major review of the undergraduate curriculum, very much taking into account the things that employers have been telling us. So we know that what employers want is someone who has great academic depth, but also has academic breadth and has good client-facing skills.
And here at the University of London, we're informed that although internships relative to the total population is small, moves are underway by the government to help fund internships and hence improve career prospects. Yet, having taken these many different viewpoints into account, we decided to ask national career expert Martin Birchall what the situation is really like for young people.
If you go to university with the objective of landing a good job, then you need to build that in to your whole university experience. It's no good just waiting until your final year and then doing a job search. So I think schools are probably the beginning of the problem, in the sense that their careers advice is generally very patchy. So an awful lot of people are being persuaded to go to university and study particular courses just because they were good at a particular thing at A level. That may not have any bearing in terms of where they then want to go afterwards. And as I say, while they're at university, there is still a very, very strong focus on the academics, as opposed to all the other practical things as well. So I think the system is in many ways loaded against people, and the chances of landing a graduate job now are probably worse than they've ever been.
While acknowledging their diligent and well-intentioned efforts, clearly not all graduates feel that career counselling services are having the necessary impact.
If you use the facilities right, then you can get more out of it than maybe I have.
We went to the same uni, and there wasn't any there, but at school they lumped it on, but it didn't really amount to a whole lot.
We haven't really had any from uni or anything, we've just been thrown out there really. We haven't had any careers advice at all, so.
They weren't helpful in the slightest, actually. I think subsequently it was help from my father, and also my own initiative that really helped get me my career on the roll.
If you're not sure what you want to do, then it's a good starting point, but I think in life you've got to have some drive and ambition if you really want to achieve what you want.
Now let's get the story from those very employers. How well prepared are students to enter the workplace?
That first step into a profession is a very difficult step, and especially if you haven't had a chance to sample it before on an internship or with work experience. It's very difficult to make that decision at such an early age. So some people come here and they don't enjoy it, but the majority do. I think in terms of their career plans, I think at best students have maybe a generic kind of overview of what they would like to do, but not necessarily in any detail. And I think that kind of develops during their first few years with us. I think some universities have really made some massive strides with their employability programme, and some probably have got a little bit further to go. But I think more could be done at that level to really mean that students are very prepared to come into the workplace. I think some have got their skill set is not necessarily home to what we require. It depends on the individual, but we'd like to think that people are up and running probably within 3 months. Okay. And in an ideal world, we'd like to see them kind of slightly quicker get into those kind of roles.
They do need people who can communicate, they do need people who can present, they need people who can work in teams, people who can show leadership skills. And those aren't things which are automatically built into degree courses. You might stumble across them on your way through, but then again you might not. So actually having all of that in place by the time you reach your final year, an awful lot of people don't seem to understand that's a key message.
So a strong emphasis is being placed on helping the armies of young graduates into work, although clearly with limited results. An idea of ours to put forward is for a TV show featuring a young person participating in 50 different jobs in 50 weeks in order to provide a true insight into different roles as well as a visual perception of work, something young people clearly still lack. This idea is welcomed by the public for several reasons.
I think it would be a really sort of good informal way to get a good idea of many different sort of careers that are out there, without the pressure of sort of a career service or a mentor figure that was, like a parent pushing you towards something.
Gosh, that sounds really interesting. 50 jobs in 50 weeks, that's really quite something. That's going to teach them how to fit into a team really well.
It allows people to think about their work, perhaps what they want to do, what they want to start their careers off with.
I think just seeing what different jobs would be like, what different careers would be like, what the employers are looking for.
You might see someone who did the same degree as I did, and they might be doing something, I'll be like, oh, that looks much cooler than what I do, I'd much prefer to do that.
You talk to people who get quite a long way into the selection process, applying for jobs in manufacturing or finance or whatever it may be, and they still really have no grasp as to what the day-to-day job is going to be like, the environment they're going to be working in. So anything that can highlight to people what it may be like in different sectors and different types of work, I think it's got to be hugely advantageous.
I think that would be really interesting to a lot of people. I think it'd be good to see what other people do, and probably give you a little bit of comfort as to the frustrations in your own role. That everyone has those frustrations.
I probably would give it a watch just to see what options are available, even if I kind of know what I want to do. I'm not kind of set on a path. I'm quite open-minded, so I'd probably watch it just to see what kind of things I could get out of it.
Sounds like a great idea. I think I'd be really interested to hear about lots of different types of jobs and what opportunities they might offer me. Also, I think in this current economic climate, with the graduate market being so difficult to get a job, it would be useful to get an insight into how employers reach their decisions on who they hire and why. I think it would be particularly relevant to young graduates because they're there now, just finishing up, thinking, what the hell am I going to do with my life? And it's tough out there. But also for people like myself, grads who have been in the workplace, not everyone wants to stay in the same job forever. There might be a better opportunity, whether it be career progression or money, in a different industry. So maybe a show like this would open people's eyes to something that they've missed before.
So, just where should young people turn for help? Are things really as bad as they seem? From across the UK, this is David Pattinson with The Careers Show.